拝めたわね、ドクター。まったく、幸先がいいわ。
Okay, and we're live. Hey, what's up guys? James here. Thank you for some Arknights today. We are going to be continuing on chapter 14, episode 14. I kinda forget that Arknights names its chapters episodes. But anyways, we made a head start on 14 on Tuesday after finishing 13. Because we need to farm it. So yeah. So I've been doing a little bit there. Just like I just spent my extra stamina on Annihilation, as well as just farming that one map I've done. And we stopped at a tutorial map. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming too late tonight, because I do have an early morning tomorrow. But yeah, let's get through what we can. Maybe two chapters today, two maps today or something. Then to find extreme originium environments, pollution. This is the fucking tornado. The tornado that fucked us over in this one. Okay. Continuously deals true damage to units on it and greatly reduces SP recovery. And the storm deals true damage to units in every second. Okay, that's the storm. What's the pollution? The pollution is the tile, I guess? Find out. I need to switch to hard mode as well, but this is the tutorial, so... Oh, what's that? Pile is corrupted. I don't feel so good. There's a lot of activated originium here. That's because you're in an area contaminated by originium pollution. It is common on the battlefield to the outskirts of Londinium or Londinium. Whereas deploying on them will take continuous damage and have reduced SP recovery. Try to avoid them when deploying. So you would want to use offensive SP recovery, defensive in that case then. What's our storm in this? Looks like it's heading towards us. That's an active originium storm conjured by enemy yards. It has the same effect as originium pollution, but even stronger. Active originium storm. Why is it headed our way? It seems to be drawn to the withered altar. The storm expanded? Correct. It grows stronger when it absorbs the active originium in its path. Ooh. Oh, but it clears the tile. We're in real danger here, Doctor. How do we deal with this? Calm down, Jessica. We can deploy a new withered altar in another direction to draw it away from us. Once placed, we'll have to deploy an operator to activate it too. It's to me, Instructor Bowman. Always drives my specialty. Nothing else? What's up, man? How you doing? We're in the tutorial of how to deal with the fucking dust storms. I didn't realize there are altars that we could use to divert the dust storm. Won't be streaming too long today because I have an early morning tomorrow. Yeah, okay, so pretty simple tutorial. The red tiles hurt. Dust storm hurts. Use the altar to beat the tornado. Here we wage war on death. Pollution and originium storm. 4 tile ban. Man. Fucking tile bans. But it's gonna be story first. Shit. didn't know that the storm would clear up the tiles though. I didn't know that. I suppose that's fine, honestly. It's okay. Oh, we'll need to see what the map is like anyway, so. "13 hours into the operation. The further we go, the more dire the situation becomes. Freshly rent canyons, diverted rivers, pathways that withstood the weight of the great nomadic cities, now torn, distorted, warped beyond recognition. The maps of the past are now no more than scrap paper. Every trail must be charted anew. It's no doubt that the blood of Tikaz lies his way. A bond yet hums. The closer we get to the heart of the battlefield, the higher the rate of that originium integrates with all information. The rocks, the soil, the waters, the peoples. Originium's influence has its clutch around virtually everything on Terra, yet perhaps we have long forgotten the fundamental principles of how it works." "What do you mean by information just now, Kasu?" "Perhaps you should find out rather soon, Doctor. Or maybe. No, never mind. Objectively speaking, the originium contaminated terrain does take a tactical advantage to the resist of military operations. In contrast, the Victorian front is all but shattered. But this level of originium activity still pales in comparison to the catastrophe strike earlier. Croesus will never use originium so recklessly just to gain a slight tactical advantage. As much I know of him. He knows the consequences. Sounds like we're in for a difficult journey. I should have bought like weedy or something to push the altars away. If there is one. There's a vehicle heading this way. Halt. And it's just like, stop. Truck shudders to a stop as some real familiar faces hop off. It's the Banshee and the King of Sarkas. Told you we shouldn't have taken this road. We can't run away now. Well, it's not like they're bad guys. Weren't you supposed to stay at the Lifeburn? Well, be honest here. Master Banshee, Your Highness, I'm scared, terrified. Having to stay inside that skeleton, not knowing who or what might come running over the heels to attack us. So we ran. I know that desertion is a crime, but we were never going to be any use, were we? So I beseech you, my lord, Your Highness, please don't execute us. We'll happily take the whip instead. However many lashings you wish. I'm not going to execute you. I never demanded that you fight for me. If you want to go, you may go. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Your Highness. You're wise and merciful and... Can we three go along with you? Say no more. Highness has already done us an incredible kindness by sparing our lives. You'll still demand more of her? Don't be a fool, shopkeep. How much of a chance do you think the three of us have and that broken truck's got? Probably got blown up by a bomb or worse. Your Highness, this is just my humble request, but please get us off this battlefield. I'll give you everything I have, as long as these two live. I swear my undying fealty to you. No, that's not the issue here. If you were to follow us, I'm sorry to say that it would just be as dangerous. What do you think we should do, Doctor? I thought that would commandeer it. Might expose our whereabouts to the commission. I can't imagine they'll survive on the battlefield on their own. Very well then, driver. We can travel together for a while. After we pass through the war zone, you should leave Victoria once and for all. Thank you. My deepest gratitude. And please use the transport. It should carry us far enough. King of Sarkas, you are a most magnanimous soul. I truly do not know how I could repay this kindness of yours. The coin I gave you. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Good thing I didn't drop it. Here, for you, my lord. I was one of the bigger for you. It was my honor to serve. Actually, lord. How could I have expected payment for such a privilege? Really wanted your coin back, huh? I hope you don't think me as miser. I need to ensure that they are not imposters. You need not fear. I hold no malice against you. Logos moves his finger and the coin in his palm vanishes, only to reappear in the shopkeeper's hand in a heartbeat. The shopkeep stares, first at the hand capable of quaking the earth and shaking mountains with a single pen stroke, then at the coin in his own hand, finally back at the deadpan banshee, unsure of how to react. Was that a magic trick? What delightful! You are a man of many talents, sire. Well, better go help driver start the car. Tough crowd, huh? I saw Scout and Overcast demonstrate it several times. I could never quite get the movements right. It is my lack of skill that made for a lackluster effect. You a bit of a jokester? Also, there are times when I also regret the fact that many of our shared memories have disappeared into the ether. I suppose the right time never came up. If we ever find ourselves time to reminisce after this ordeal, perhaps you'll be pleasantly surprised by the anecdotes of your past. But for now, we must go.
There's no sound here. Stillness is strange. I can't hear the sound of our breathing on the vehicle's engine. I can't even hear my own heartbeat. Is this some kind of originium arts? Someone had blocked all the sounds in the vicinity to conceal themselves.
No, Amia. Listen carefully. It is not that the sound has forsaken this place. Instead, there is a great, tremendous roar, so great that it drowns out its lessers. It is the deafening cry of death itself.
Look over there. That leaf.
A leaf hangs from the lowest branch, its surface tinted with vibrant yet bizarre colours, like the work of a haphazard artist, or sunlight reflecting off a puddle of grease. Like the vestiges of some sort of art. It is rotting. Decay unhinges its maw, gnawing at all in its sight, leaving behind only iridescent bite marks. Within a few seconds, this bright yet strange coloration spreads across the entire plant, even onto the other bushes. The once succulent leaves become drips of foaming liquid, leaving behind only bare vein networks quivering in the wind. Just like a fin beast's skeleton after its flesh has been picked clean, unceremoniously discarded. The wind rises, as if wanting to tear at the skin. It is the sight of an unsatiated beast.
Lucas, the marsh!
Silver incantations flow forth, plunging into the depths of the marsh. You managed to stop it? No. The muffled sound of water sloshing ripples from the marsh, echoing about in the deathly silence. The sound of a foot pulling from the ooze, and stepping down again. Steady, unseen steps churn the muddy water, slopping it to the shore.
Prepare for battle. Stay where I can see you, Doctor.
Black arts shoot into the marsh, but the burst of sound quickly dies down as they're swallowed up. The steps begin again, their rhythm unchanging, their resolve unyielding. A tattered hand floats above the surface of the water as ripples crash into ripples, becoming a chaotic jumble of lines and shapes.
What's that?
A dazzling beam of light spews forth from Monster's mouth. The shining lace is lost amidst the dark swamp. The slow sloshing changes. Huh. A series of hurried footsteps erupts in the silence, and all lost sounds return once more. Brilliant cacophony, and ear-splitting din. What's that? Death has come for you all. Stay back, you. Whatever you are.
Look out!
Cage. stood a burial shroud still wrapped around the corpse. His body is already rotted away. Conventional attacks will have no effect. This is a form of witchcraft innate to the Naxara, possibly an ancient tradition. Naxaras devour life to nourish their bodies. All bodies have an end. Once at the cusp of the end, powerful Naxaras will nourish weaker ones with their flesh, gaining unfathomable speed and strength in return, so witchcraft energy that no ordinary body can bear. In doing so, they become even more powerful creatures, while their nourishment allows the Naxara to society to sustain and grow. Just as fallen leaves nourish the land, and the land supports new lives, an eternal cycle. Flood. Muddy waters of the swamp rise swiftly, like a curtain, immersing the Naxara up to his torso. At the same time, incantations wend and weave their way around the group, holding back the rot's incessant bite.
Over there, quickly! We'll head into the forest.
Don't step on the mud. The swamp rising, or perhaps a mist sinking, the dark ground becomes a gaping mouth, trying to engulf all. The group struggles through the mire, each breath growing more laboured. A singular thought seizes the collective mind. Living is a tedious and futile effort, compared to the peaceful eternal slumber that awaits if they simply turned and embraced death.
Monster, protect the doctor. He's here.
The only sound they can hear is the whistling of the corroded blade as it swings down. The Naxara, the one who walks alongside death, has arrived before them.
Did monster also feel pain?
Life withers before his art. If we are caught in the Naxara's witchcraft, our life force will be sapped to become its nourishment.
Dust. Did he come from the mud or drop from a tree?
Either is possible. From life to death, from blossom to wither, they draw upon the entire life cycle, turning it into seeds that produce new Naxaras.
I can feel it. The unending flow of witchcraft energy flooding towards us. And not just from the enemy before us, but from the marsh amidst the trees. It's everywhere.
We have been wrapped in a Naxara shroud. By his hands, death hangs above our very heads. Only by tearing apart this barrier of witchcraft can we defeat him. Miner, am I about to die? He's tired, Shopkeep. Here, hold on to me so we don't get separated.
Driver, hold my hand. Whatever you do, don't fall. Fading out of consciousness. I can't hold her up much longer.
Ordinary healing techniques won't help. Naxara witchcraft is devouring us all. Leave me. I'll only hold you back. You let go of us. I know that if it wasn't for us, you and Sir Banshee could fight easily.
I promised that I would get you out of the battlefield. We're in this together.
Is that so? Good. The scent of blood. It pervades the air.
It's Driver and the others' wounds.
No, this blood is witchcraft.
Huh? As in a vampire? As far as Naxaras and vampires?
Oh, jeez. A thin fog of blood floats all around them. This is entirely different from the Prince of Blood's arts they witnessed before. It is subtle, like delicate strands of silk, nearly smothered by the all-encompassing mist of decay around them. But it is these silken strands that slightly stir the stagnant air. Maria, feel the flow of wind. I'll expose the weave of the shroud and locate its weakest point.
Got it.
Black arts gather before Amia's body, condensing into a spear. Logos raises his hand, pointing at the depths of the thick fog. Pierce. Herald of death. You resist the spread of the rot, but to no avail. In the end, death. Claim your corpse. I've never once doubted that. Disperse. His giant blade falls, sticking into the soil like a gravestone. The Naxxara's shroud flutters and billows. In an instant, his imposing figure disintegrates, leaving behind him several tattered strips of cloth gently falling to the ground. Is he dead? I can finally breathe. Clack, clack. It's a sound of bone scraping against bone. Withered hand stretches out of the mud. Ah! Watch out. Fell apart? Looks like it to me. Huh. When did you become such a badass, Trevor? Shouldn't we keep going, Your Highness?
Yes, it's best we leave at once, when the Naxxara reawakens and catches up to us again. I wasn't expecting a vampiric art circle here.
It is still working.
Those vampiric arts have suddenly appeared as we were fighting the Sudaram. It's because of this circle?
I'm afraid it's not that simple. I'm sure you're well aware, Armia, that those arts were cast by a vampire.
Perhaps a descendant of a vampire. I assume that while the Sanguinarch has been taken off the battlefield, the gifts he bestowed will not so easily fade away. Doesn't matter. I'll do my best to put these corrupted lives to rest, as I've done before. Logos, could you please assist me?
Armia. The sound becomes ever clearer. Coming from behind the blood-stained boulders, there's a sound of limbs dragging across the ground. A sound that they've heard countless times in previous battles. Armia notices the expression on Logos' face. He looks not at the stone columns, but at Armia, a trace of emotion flitting across his eyes. It is sorrow. Armia recognizes it instantly. He has felt sorrow countless times since the war began, sometimes from an enemy, but mostly from her companions.
Driver.
Your Highness.
When did it happen? Was it while we were fighting the Naxxara?
Yes. When we left the skeleton, I brought along a rock that the military commission had ordered us to transport. I thought since it made us stronger before, it might come in handy in a battle. It really did help, right? I never dared to imagine that I could fight alongside you and defeat that strange enemy. You used the blood crystal left behind by a vampire. Did you pierce your body with it? No, that would never induce such a drastic change. You swallowed some fragments. You willingly accepted Dukerel's blood and arts. I've always had the vampire bloodline, even though it's pretty faint by now. But I could still sense the Sanguinarch's core, even if it felt nothing more like a whisper. I've seen those worms crawl out of Sarkaz's corpses before, so there's no need to pity me for not knowing the consequences. Instead of dying on the gutter like a real worm without so much as a help, I'd rather accept this power and die on the battlefield, like a real Sarkaz. This isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. A few months ago, while driving aimlessly through the wilderness, I heard a broadcast about what was happening in Londinium. And somehow I just drove all the way here. The shopkeep says I read too many stories about knights. That's rubbish. Everyone knows that Kasdal doesn't need knights. I just wanted to know if there was a real path in life that I could follow, or the proper end. If I could give some meaning to my life without just wasting it. Then I met you. The path of the King of Sarkaz is the path for me. We fought alongside each other on this path. Like you said, we're in this together. And now, the fighting stopped. At least for now. My buddies are still alive. Your Highness, you can deal with me as you see fit. Deal with you? What are you talking about? Jarvel, why you become like... You're all scary, aren't I? Your Highness, please, I beg of you, help her. And Lord Banshee, sire, I humbly return this coin to you. It is the only thing of worth I have. Witchcraft is the trigger to her condition, not the cause. There is nothing I, Armia, and even Dr. Kelsey can do to reverse the changes. Then what are you going to do? Don't tell me you're going to kill her like you killed those red worms. Stand aside, shopkeep. This was my decision. Your Highness, I heard that, in the past, the great warriors of the Sarkas right before they died could request that the king grant them a vision. I don't know if I can or not. Amiya raises her hand. Black arts coalesce at her fingertips. A desperate smile emerges on the driver's face as she unconsciously looks at the top of Cortez's head, searching for the legendary black crown. I mean, what will I see? I just hope it won't be me driving that piece of junk around Kazdor.
Driver, may you tell me your name? Your real one.
Is this part of the ceremony too?
Well, if I knew your name, it would be a lot easier.
Marilla. Common name.
Sorry, I never stayed in Casimir's for so long, so our pronunciation might be off.
No, it's good. It's been so long since anyone called my name so gently, ever since my mother died.
I refuse your request.
You won't grant me a vision, I suppose. I was never worried to begin with.
No, that's not it. I refuse to let you die here, by my hand, Marilla. You have not become the vampire's creation. Your looks have changed, but I don't sense you becoming any more evil or bloodthirsty. And even if you are showing a bit more of your ancient bloodline, you're still you. You do not deserve punishment, nor should I be the one to give you your honor.
But you are the King of Sarkas.
Please, call me Amiya. Miss Marilla, I've had my share of worries because your team isn't comprised of Rhodes Island operators. I was thinking earlier about how we could get along with you three, but in truth, it wasn't a problem at all. If you wish to fight alongside us for our common goal, then I welcome you with open arms.
The young Cortez keeps her arms outstretched, her blue eyes blinking. The Sarkas woman grasps her slender fingers. Despite not feeling much sorrow, the two of scarlet tears flow down her cheeks. Are you watching Amiya? He's changed a lot these past few years. He's always been a good leader. The core of the Empire's rituals changed. It is no longer just a tool to amplify the strength of the Sarkas, nor a simple collector of energy. It is deepening the Sarkas bloodlines with originium, with Amnanam. The blood of Tikaz is playing a role in this shit somehow. The strength of the Sarkas bloodlines acts as a direct catalyst to the originium spread. In turn, their information within originium empowers the bloodlines, changing their powers and other traits. The effect of these arts seems familiar. Salas merge a lot of bloodlines? They must be ready. The threat that Amnanam represents may very well be far greater than anything we expected. Let's go! Where's the tornado? Where am I gonna see the tornado? The altar's over there. Oh, the tornado's down here. Okay.
あなたたちの心はどんなトーンで響くのかしら。足元を見ていなさい。どうすればいいかくらいわかるわ。私に命令しないで。みんなこっち来て。チェーンソーのうなり声が聞こえる？
火山の煙や粉塵には大量のオリジニウム粒子が含まれるので長居は避けます。
春風が雨と消す時節ね。
Alright, that tornado can stay right there.
ないわね。これ式のことにも私が出張らないといけないの？私をここにはい焦らなくていいわよ。全員分あるから。
Wow, those guys are kind of tanky, eh?
心地より草の方荒れ地は送電となる。
All my turrets died. Damn.
即興をお楽しみに。みんなこっち来て。
ここは私が見る。よそに目を光らせる。
リクエストはあるかしら？私をここに派遣する。ずいぶん足元。みんなこっち来て。本来は私が手出す。生命は晴れがよし、虚空は雨がよし。わあ、そういうところだった。リクエストはある。思い切り自分自身。後ろだ。
These guys resist phase. I think.
私をここに派遣。ずいぶん足元を気にしてるのに。たまには上を見てみた方がいい
Wizard
わ
Elf still
よ。
does as much damage though. It's crazy, man.
Mission accomplished.
"23 hours into the operation." The route ahead has been cleared. I'll continue scouting the Saka's army's movements. Haven't found any trace of them yet. Thank you, Misery. Continue to set up those sentry posts. Morgan, found any surviving Victorian soldiers where you're at? Afraid not. Nothing but originium crystals here. To any Victorian troops, corpses are wrecked since we entered the westbound forest. Damn it! I tell there's been a bloody huge battle. So where have all the people gone? The terrain here keeps changing. Maybe the ground ate them all up. We cannot underestimate the tenacity of the people. It's only because there are those who refuse to give up that the exemplars even exist. It's why we're here in the first place. Shira, keep the medics ready to receive any army remnants and civilians. We've got extra supplies, so there's no need to worry on that front. The bad news is that with so many infected among our troops now, it's almost impossible to distinguish between infected and uninfected soldiers. I'd like your professional opinion on that matter. Would registering the infected help our men or not? Funny you should ask. Registering the infected. That might have been the first thing they taught me at the military academy. Where we stand now, I'd say there's no real sense to it. I see. Now let's stop registering them. Just try your best to provide everyone, infected or not, with the Rhodes Island's recommended protective measures. The rest is not up to us anymore. At least not for now. Let's all focus on surviving the war first. Then we can worry about the warriors to come. Oh, my drone's back. Rock 18. How awful. The entire propulsion system has been cluttered up by crystal dust. The monitored data, environmental originium concentration is still fluctuating wildly. Send me that data you just got, Rocco. We've got a new iteration of our originium activation trend model. I want to see if our calculations fit real-world data. Looks like there's not enough data to do that. The trend of this curve. Let's wait for Victor's team to finish off that diffractometer analysis report. Then we should be able to calculate the safe areas in real time. This place freaks me out. It's like 1 minute it's deadly quiet. The next, there's some terrifying originium mountain pushing its way up out of the dirt. Safe areas keep changing. Though we've managed to reestablish the short-range comms after working our asses off. If you go even a step out of range, all that interference will just get in the way again. Good thing I planned ahead and asked Radian for our arts unit before we left for Londinium. The little cop place made a knockoff version. It's not as good as a real deal, but it should help. Once we've got these portable communications towers up, we'll be able to transmit the locations of the safe areas to anyone on the battlefield who needs them. This information will save many lives. Well, yeah, that's what Rhode Island does. Lord, status update. We've successfully arrived at Gibsonham. It's the last supply unit before we reach the front of the Silver Rock Bluffs. Arknights' team's already made their initial scouting report. Looks like there are traces of ducal armies here. Must have passed around the way to the front a few days ago. I think we can confirm at this point that the route Chubby Asher provided is safe. Is there anyone in town? Streets are empty, but I can sense the flicker of shadows and the smell of food. We decided against contact to avoid any needed misunderstandings. Understood. We'll rendezvous with you as soon as we can. Getting dark. Seems like everything's going smoothly. Best we let our soldiers get some rest. The fighters get some rest and some hot soup in them. To save some for my team. They'll be taking a while longer to get back after their work is done. Rockrock and I still have to head over to Feist. I'm not sure if we'll be able to double our communication range by nightfall, but we'll do our best to finish ASAP. No need to worry, we'll save the best for you people. It's all just the same canned provisions though, right? Would you like some engine oil for dressing then? Oi! Units, continue onwards until you reach Gibsonham. I hope things can be as peaceful tonight as things are now. That would be nice. All the houses seem to be empty. Have the residents gone into hiding? Gibsonham's not far from the Duke's defense line, so I doubt the Sarkas ever truly captured it, not to mention that the ducal armies just passed through a few days ago. Horn's caution is warranted though. There might be some scattered ducal troops who want to reconvene with the main army and decided to camp out here first. Though Chubby is helping us out with his advice, Victoria has never exactly been a model for unity. Not to mention the complicated nature of the exemplars. I dare say there are a few old-fashioned military nobles who would rather not tolerate our very existence. I see. But let's show them the full scale of our forces. It'll deter those with ulterior motives, and alert anyone who needs our help to our rival. The rumbling of travelling tanks reverberates through a quiet night, the low roar of the engines forceful yet steady. Soldiers cautiously advance, observing their surroundings, but still, all they see are pitch black windows and doorways. It doesn't look like they want to make first contact. That's fine, as long as it means we can get along. Wait, I hear something. From the building to the front on the left. That's the sound of artillery shells casings falling on the ground. An ambush. On your guard, everyone. I'll leave the team to scout ahead. First squad, second squad, follow my lead. There are no signs of life in the abandoned factory. Contrary to expectation, there is no sound of an explosion following the falling casings. You sure that was falling casings, Horn? Absolutely sure. That's a special model only allocated to elite Victorian troops. No traces of anyone living here. Don't move, Siege. Siege carefully puts her foot down, back where it was. Horn points at a thin tripwire, barely visible against the ground. Nicely concealed, what with the surrounding piping obstructing the view. Real tricky to spot. Booby trap. No. It's not linked to any explosives, just a simple alarm system. Based on how they've installed it, I'd say they're military. Should we try to initiate contact? Yes. Everyone, get behind us. I'm prepared to engage. Hello, we don't mean any harm. Our unit's called the Secret Passage. Get ready to enter. Stay behind my shield. Hold. We're not... Help!
No bagpipe!
Doctor, some spent ammunition while watch. How could they have heard that from so far away? They avoided your alarm too. These troops. I don't think they're all near. She could block your power driver spear. Captain? The siege too. It really is you, Fiona. The lady with long red hair suddenly throws herself into the arms of her captain. So you're alive all along?
To chat basically at how your grave rolls. Just got one grave. Just waiting on some reviews, see if I want to go for MLB. My rolls for grave were not that great. I think I spent like I think it was what? 20k quartz, 20k gems, and 40 tickets. However many rolls that is, that's like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, almost 100. And I only got one copy. And I got spooked by Isabel, not Scarlet.
Wonderful, how wonderful.
One gently releases bagpipe from her embrace, then claps a hand on her shoulder.
Good to see you in one piece, and rather good shape too. I'll make my report now, Captain. I've done it. I managed to extract the intelligence of the Spectre Force. I can... what they're planning now.
Can tell, I guess?
I survived. I got my memories. I got the truth and I stayed alive. Your orders, I never forgot a word of them. Good to hear.
I'm glad. I knew you could do it. Always knew. Welcome back, Bagpipe. Wait, you're not.
Everyone, we mean you no harm. It's alright to come out.
One by one, silhouettes emerge from the shadows. The elderly, children, the sick and the wounded, civilians. Hundreds of pairs of eyes stare at Siege and her men in fear and curiosity, taking their measure. Rip. If chapter 34 did reveal cool things, I would have MLB grave right now. I'm a bit more cautious till the end of the year. Same. I'm being a bit more cautious. I've got about 59k gems left, so it's not too bad. It's okay. It's okay. I haven't used any of my my certs, my tickets yet, so that's fine too. My golden tickets or whatever it is. Yeah, my pity tickets.
You're not with the ducal armies.
Most of you aren't dressed like Victorian soldiers. In fact, you mostly look like dukes to me.
That's right. We're not under any of the dukes. We're called the Exemplars.
It's fine. I got good rolls on Cinderella. You know, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. It's just how it is. And I don't think I want to get any more copies of Grave anyway, so it's fine.
Shira is counting up the civilians who are hiding in the factory and giving them a checkup. All they can say at the moment is that it's looking better than we expected. Aside from those infected soldiers under the Duke of Fife, who came along with you, and a small team of military engineers under the Duke of Normandy, everyone else is just local civilians who couldn't escape. The Ducal Alliance armies came through here a few days ago, but they'd rather give up a chance at being rescued than seek help from the Grand Dukes. It's understandable why the soldiers would avoid them. They're either worried about the status of their infection or worried about a court-martial, but it's for the civilians. Perhaps this was the year the people living around Londinium got to reassess their country, those decorated homes. Blackpipe, how'd you manage to get their trust?
Are you listening, Bagpipe?
Hey, Captain. You need to pay attention during tactical meetings. The map's on the wall, not my face. Sorry, Captain. Well, let's ask small side. I really shouldn't be asking. You are Fiona, after all. I'm just a wee bit glad. The Exemplars, Tempest Platoon's predecessors. I guess the rumors are true. I'm actually amazed that you still remember what you learned in military history class. Oh, of course. When I was still at training camp, Triangle made sure I committed this back to memory. Out by the training field, the sycamores were full of leaves, blocking the sun just right. Then there were the rocks at the top of the cliff, hard as well rocks. And will sting you if you tried to climb them. And it will sting. I remember when Cello and Obo had a wager on who could complete the rock climbing training courses fastest. Loser had to do 100 one-hand push-ups. Jeez. My bill was right full. I would have taken that bet with Cello. Maybe you should have reminded him back then. You were even sitting on his back the whole time I was doing the push-ups. I was just helping him with his training. I'd say you turned out alright in the end, eh? It was just the hair behind Cello the next time. Exemplars. When the Tempest Platoon was first established, nothing was left of this legendary unit from the War of the Four Nations, not even its unassigned unit ID. But now it has returned once more to the battlefield. We're all members of the Exemplars, now Bagpipe. As long as our team is still here, we'll never stop fighting the good fight. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yay, bagpipe and horn. Isn't there a strategy meeting inside? Why are you standing out here in the cold? Just wanted to clear my head for a few minutes. Do you think I was someone else? Bird or... No, not really. I believe you. If someone suddenly popped out of the fog tonight, I wouldn't have any expectations either. Not everyone is as lucky as Horn, reuniting with the person they most want to see. Luck, eh? That's a luxury around here. That's enough blues for tonight. We should head inside. Wait. Dorian soldiers. Are they the remnants that stayed behind? No, they can't be. I never noticed them until they got this close. They're the elite of the elites. Pastor's men. Ah, it's positively frigid out here. My hands are frozen stiff. Days surely are getting colder as they go by. Well, I've only taken a little jaunt and my full plate's already half soaked through. Oh, it's this guy. My young friends, won't you invite me inside to warm my hands for a spell? Since you've come all this way in person, I suppose we should show you some courtesy. Delphine. Yes, Vina. Let's show the Duke the way.
どんな状況でも勝てるのは昔と変わらないわね。ただあの頃と違って、その喜びように偽りはなさそうだけど。
Alright. What was even the tile ban? There was a... Was there a tile ban? Oh, it might have been the top tiles. I didn't even realize. I want to see what the enemy is, this guy. Wow. S defense, SS res. Wow. That's it. They're just overstated. Okay. Additional sarcasm with the bulwarks will appear in some intuitive form. The bulwarks? I don't suppose we have met them? Yeah, we haven't. Alright. I should check what that enemy is though, this one. The textile arts damage when inside pollution. It's sugar and vials, okay. Like honestly, this is fine to deal with, but should bring a pusher. Oh, I suppose we bring Gladia instead. A puller. Yeah, that works too, right? Bring a pusher, bring a puller. And if we're doing that, then we might as well bring abyssals. Right?
常に前だけ向いていろ。私がいる。
皆様、ご機嫌うるわしゅ。
Yeah, let's go with that.
Excuse me, who are you, sir?
Good. Much better. Once you reach a certain age, you come to prefer bright and warm places. And is that beans I smell?
Aye, I was cooking some canned beans for dinner. Do you want some, sir?
Don't mind if I do. It would be better if we had some seasoning from home, perhaps some marinated meat.
Aye, I was thinking the same. He got it in.
What is it?
I ken who you are now.
I know.
And you're a wee bit different from what's in the news.
Ah. Well, you can ask your captain. I held her when she was wee. Little Rita touched my horn and asked why her dad didn't have one.
I apologize for my insolence at the time, Your Grace.
Not many have the nerve to touch my horns, Lieutenant Scamandros. You showed courage from a very young age. Or should I say, all of your brave warriors of Victoria. Your defense of Shetley was outstanding, as your performance and Brentwood. Bean. Even the real military is a better diet than them. Bean. Exemplars, you call yourselves. I've long wanted to meet you, though it seems your leader does not welcome my presence.
Pardon my frankness, Your Grace, but it's hard to treat your sudden appearance as a pure gesture of good faith.
Of course, Lady Windermere, I understand. Especially in times like this. I sent men to the Urnclan Galway. Traveling quickly, but fortunately I made it in time to present funeral flowers for Felice.
Appreciate the gesture.
I assume the Duke of Godden hasn't come all this way here to give us a medal. What if I say I have? Might have some of us are neither nobles nor intelligent, so
be best if you didn't beat around the bush.
Your Royal Highness Alessandrina is as direct as they say. Or would you prefer that I called you Siege, like your friends do? I fully understand why the Exemplars avoided the ducal armies along the way. You didn't want them to get involved in the machinations of the dukes. You want to fight only for Victoria and her people, like the legendary unit that you're named after. And so, I'm not here as the Duke of Godden. I'm here as Sean Godden, Member of the Parliament, to extend an invitation to the Parliament-authorized Templar platoon and the rest of the Exemplars. Leave that outdated identification code behind. I'm asking that you intervene in this war in the name of the Parliament.
The miners' camps is burned to the ground. There's Sanosaka soldiers.
Wesley feels a slight chill. The campsite's charred debris has cooled. He moves some collapsed wooden beams aside and finds a few unrecognizable bodies. Miners, remains of the infected. It's all the same, everywhere. What's that sound? Oh boy! Nice hiding spot, sit around. Sarah spotted to the northwest of Gibson. Anacom's range already? Death has you. Several ruined swords pierce out of the ground beneath Misery's feet, but he's no longer there. Misery rips through the fabric of space with his dagger and retreats out of range. The collapsed ruins turns to a cage, trapping the Naxxara's withered bodies. Shush now. Feet. Dear Gododin, I understand that the Victorian Parliament has not held a session for a long time. Everyone who escaped Londinium knows that the Sarkaz have been the ones giving the orders from the Palace of Westaleg during this time. Of course, I don't deny the present circumstances. Why don't we cast our gazes further, though, to the future beyond the war? The future? Is it a little too early to be bargaining over that, if bargaining and coercion were synonyms? You misunderstand me. Gododin is not caster. I would much prefer to sit by the fireside than gather at the negotiation table. I'm more about drinking and playing cards with friends. It gets cold rather quickly once summer is gone. Mind if I have my men add some wood to the fire? You might as well have them come in. Thank you. That's much better. Where were we? Ah yes, the future. We know that the war will end and Victoria will triumph. The war will inevitably bring, or should I say, has already brought about, irreversible changes, ending a 20-year stalemate. If anyone in the room is interested in the empty throne, it certainly isn't me. Excellent, excellent. See? We already have a consensus. As a matter of fact, I held a little meeting not too long ago and saw the Iron Duke in person. Seeing him always reminds me of when I first saw the Gastrel. Like so many other children who grew up hearing the tales of the Empire's death knell, I searched for the shadow of the ruins that belonged to the Lingoness, only to find not Gaul. But the glory of the strongest nation of our time, so splendid I could not bear to turn away. You want us to believe you care more about Victoria than Gododin? Make no mistake, I would never call myself a patriot. A duke must always put his dukedom before all else. It's not just a matter of interest, but also a duty, responsibility. But I wonder, what is the difference between Gododin and Wellington? Wellington would still be Wellington, with or without Victoria. But what would become of Gododin in the light of if the light of Victoria went out? Perhaps it would survive. Things would certainly not get better. You don't want the Grand Dukes to really divide Victoria. I'm not the only one. You know that. As strong as Victoria is, she is not without her rivals. Ursus, Nathaniel, Columbia, Starglen. All the ambitious nations of Terra have their eyes on us. We need a single, unified voice to bring stability. This is why Parliament exists. All the ducal realms will select an appropriate representative, including Windermere. This is what the exemplars mean to Victoria. No soldier who fights for the cause of Victoria will need to fear betrayal again. The Speaker of Parliament has always been the king, for the entirety of the role's existence. But that does not mean that he, or she, must sit on the throne. And this is what she can mean to all of us, Your Royal Highness Alexandria, if you are willing. No one speaks as the Duke's words sink in. Only the crackling of the fire Gododin lit can be heard. I have only one question, Your Grace. Or Your Grace. If all of this could have waited until after the war, then if I refuse now, can my friends and I leave with the size of kings? Huh.
Siege. Yes, Boatman outside. We're surrounded. Maybe we already were the moment he showed up. Well. First to learn what a commitment is to Castor. Now we learn what friendship is to Gododin. Friends treat each other as equals, do they not? My offer remains fair. At the minimum, I gave this young friend from Gododin the opportunity to point her power driver spear at me. Lost the signal from Drone 6 again. Blasted place. Alright, Balin. Ibris, Victor, you have to do this menu. Status reports, everyone. Oh, good to hear. The beacon's in there and the sensor's running. We're still getting strong interference from the wind and sand, trying to filter out the noise. Waiting on your order. On you now, Victor.
5 minutes. The ground's softer than expected.
Careful, quicksand. The soil is very different from the samples we collected. I've sent the data back. You got it, Captain? I knew it was a good idea to get you on board, Evers. It's a few days of angry stares from the Esprit.
I think you could do with a better working environment, Closure. Try not to get too much sand in your mouth.
Stop talking like Ami and Balin. My blood is self-cleansing. Hey, don't just laugh at me. Keep working. The sooner we get the signal tower set up, the sooner we can broadcast the safe zone locations, and the sooner you can get to town.
Trying. The Rhodes Island equipment isn't anything like I've seen. I'm already doing an exemplary job. Get it?
Seriously though, you and Rock shouldn't be here with me in the first place.
You have my drones.
Of course I'm staying here with them.
Well, that is a solid reason.
I know you're concerned about my safety, but I'm actually really strong. What's that?
Those vampire worms, you would disagree.
Not all vampires are built the same, you know? It's you two I'm worried about. Put your helmets on. Earthbreathy infection is no joke.
Alright, alright. You lot are the ones who need to be careful running around the battlefield like this.
You lot?
It's Island. You lot are all over the battlefield, not caring for your own safety at all. One is infected from Victoria. Everyone else is infected, not Victorian. Victor isn't infected or Victorian. How amazing.
Why?
Everyone knows Rhodes Island operators come from everywhere. Can't help but think of my granny, Clovicia, plus Tommy and the gang. I once hoped that the Self-Salvation Corps could be just as united as the Rhodes Island operators I'd seen.
Well, people aren't really born good or bad. As circumstances change, so do people. Maybe one day.
One day, the Self-Salvation Corps will become a tightly knit, united group. Just like the Exemplars, now all fighting for the same thing. We're ready to brave the worst, ready to deal with defeat, even betrayal. But it's not necessarily race, upbringing, or circumstance that will unite us. Just like Rhodes Island.
Alright, enough with the compliments. You want to keep our equipment. Should I get you a contract now?
I'm not jealous of Rhodes Island disclosure.
You lot give me the same kind of feeling as this strange communication equipment you're holding.
Possibility. Something that proves I'm not just a naive dreamer.
Wait.
Maybe your monologue is starting to bother Closure, based.
What's that sound? Let me check the feed from Rock 18.
In a monitor's pixelated image, a sandstorm approaches quickly. Catastrophe. I don't see the data. Beneath the wild sands are tattered banners and the chanting of war.
Noxaris. What are they doing here? Go. You two, leave, now. Everyone for the Self-Salvation Corps. Head for the Gibson, now!
What's that sound? Sarkas! They're already here! Battle stations! Open fire! Explosions. Sir, the Sarkas are attacking the town. We have to leave now. They found us quicker than expected. Looks like the Sarkas remember the success they had with them fillies. What of the attackers? Naxara Elite, sir. Your Royal Highness, you and your people must leave with us, now. This town is not worth defending, but you and your friends are paramount opponents to the future of Victoria. Our battleships can take us back to the Silver Rock Bluffs in front of 3 hours. That is where you belong. May you the sword. Sir, we don't have the time. You don't have the time, and you don't plan to fight, even though you know how many civilians there are. Of course you wouldn't. They're not important to you or the Parliament. These poor families won't produce a single member of Parliament in 100 years. There's no place for them in your game of cards. I legit was about to say Game of Thrones. I simply have my sights on reality, Your Highness. Reality. Reality is the future of Victoria you dream of. Is that future of Victoria you dream of is to be found in grand halls filled with noble coats of arms. I think it's worded a bit weird. My Victoria is here with these people. Sir. Very well, Your Royal Highness. You're like your father at times. Naive, reckless. Is that so? Not that I care. I don't remember anything about him. Oh, very well. Good luck. Order all combat-ready personnel on their stations now. On it. Delphine, have Lieutenant Shera get the logistics and medical stuff ready. Already done. Follow the plan. Protect the civilians. Prepare for battle. Let's go battle!
派手にやる必要はない。ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。本気で
No,
行く
it's
よ。
there. Well, they can stay there then. Brought Gladia, but don't really need Gladia then. That is perfectly fine.
聞いてるけど恐怖が隠せない。
あの深き海より参りました。オリジニウム鉱脈を乗せた溶岩には絶対に近づかないでください。本気で行くよ。即興をお楽しみあれ。
どうすればいい？誰かが気づく前にあなたの死体を影に沈めてあげる。
カップないわね。これ式のことにも私が出張らないといけないの。
Wait, I can just attack it normally? What happens if I attack it normally?
あなたの死体を影
Okay,
に
nothing.
沈めてあげる。あまり待たせない。
I just really don't want it to move.
わあ、本気で行くよ。いつでも演奏思いっきり。ジブシ。
すぐに移している。
私をここに破壊。はい。焦らなくていいわよ。全員分あるから。
Shit.
獲物はどれですね。どうぞ続けて。逃げる前に私の許可は取ったのかしら。ねえ、獲物さん。
いつでも演奏デュエッツは応募。
私を追って影を踏み込む。
That's it? One. Hurry. Quickly.
Request は自由と要求。ずいぶん足元を気にしてるのに。たまには上を見てみた方がいい。
I think something's wrong with the diffractometer's sensor. Nothing's wrong with it. Hey, Victor, I'm getting the same results.
It's not always their equipment's fault that you're not getting valid data. The data itself may exceed the scope. Originium reaction metrics are above the default limit. They're coming, guys. We have 3 minutes. Victor is the youngest of us. If nothing else, we should try to get him out. Who do you think was the reason I signed up for this London operation? Never could just do as you're told, could you? How you doing over there, Closure? Still alive. I've got my drones, and they're loaded with... I think I hear the sound of drones crashing. They used to be your babies. You knew it when you ordered self-salvation course to pull out, didn't you? That was the last chance to escape. The originium activity data is incomplete. I need data from all of you. Army's not here, so you're my captain, Closure. Well, I talked to Army before I came to London. Stop a war, save both Victorians and the Sarkas. Just a few of us? It's next to impossible. But I chose to trust all of you. Trust in the dreams of Rhodes Island. There isn't a single Rhodes Island operator who doesn't want to see that day when there is a cure for apathy, and everybody's living a better life. Does that sound ridiculous to most folks? My only regret is that about dying here, is that I won't get to see that day. You get my data, Evers? Yep. Just send the newest batch of data over, Captain. Oh, and I'm not that selfless, so don't forget to put my name on it when you publish your paper. Will do. Communication failure detected. Signal loss imminent. Importing energy fluctuation data. Initializing automatic analysis module. Catastrophe scale confirmed. Developing prediction model on origin-induced environmental changes for the next 24 hours. Captain, shield damaged. They're about to... Hang in there, first. Moving towards your position. Make it happen, Closure. Level. Ginny's eyes are glued to the screen in front of her. Faster, faster. If they fail to compile the originium activity data, all the squad's efforts will be for naught. The din of war approaches. Only a few drones remain. She can feel the enemy's cold, freezing breath. Model successfully compiled. Outputting safe zone locations. Yes! All that's left is a signal tower. Vampire. Traitor. This war will go on, and you will feed it. Yikes! My drone! The pseudoram's blade slices the hovering drone, sending it crashing to the ground. That was her last combat drone. Get out of the way! Your arts are weak and pathetic. How could such a frail vampire exist? Ouch! Searing pain erupts, and Closure feels that entire side of her body go numb. The breath of decay invades her. Closure can barely hold onto the signal tower. With great effort, she plants the complex equipment into the ground to lean on. Insufficient signal strength. Strong interference detected. Unable to broadcast safe zone location. Please follow the equipment manual. Hey, no! Shut up! What kind of vampire are you, Closure? Close those wounds. Hang in there just a little longer. Just get this thing up right. Closure better not die. Hey. Sleeping in the corridors again? You catch a cold. Rhodes Island's basic functions are online. I think she's ready for a grand voyage. Thank you, Chief Engineer. You've delivered your promise. If you want to leave this ship and go back to Castle, you told me before, you're not interested in that place. But at least, promise me you won't call yourself a talentless vampire anymore. You're the most talented person I've ever known, Closure. Just different from other vampires. So here's my offer. As long as you still want to see that vast unexplored part of this land, we'll always be each other's companion. I won't let everyone down. And myself. Closure could feel the Sudararm's cold grip close in on her and her neck. War has finally claimed her. Closure! You're a survivor? Signal. There's a signal. Rhodes Island signal. Grab my hand, Closure. Cyberman?
It's Fang!
It's me. Can you stand? Bang!
You. A dagger pierces the Sudararm's chest, causing a massive burst of energy. Misery!
Sorry I'm late. Misery gave us a location. More are coming. Almost got it. Cover me. Keep him away.
Hell yeah.
What is our mission?
When Closure first joined Rhodes Island, then known as Babel, she asked many operators this question. She got a different answer every time. Some dreams were big, others less so. Some gave details, others mumbled, scratched their heads, and gave an abashed smile. But there comes a time when they all have the same expression. And a time when they all make the same choice.
Almost there. It's the last one.
Core module online. Communications restored.
Coming, Closure. Hang in there. We send your location to the exemplars. Help is on the way. Finally. Closure. Closure, are you okay?
Keep your distance. Cover the artilleries and crossbowmen. The appearance of the Noxaros is closely linked to the catastrophes. Do not fear their witchcraft. However bizarre it is, it's still art. Remember, how we marched through the catastrophe. We survived the catastrophe. We'll survive the sarcasm. Pipe.
I'm here.
The Duke of Gododin spoke the truth. Templar Spittoon is under the direct authority of the Parliament. We have an obligation to answer Parliament's call. It's a more legitimate cause for action than a Duke's invitation. Not to mention that by accepting his invitation, you, Robin, and everyone who became with us because they had no choice, will have proper identities.
Dang. Did you forget, Cap? I'm retired anyways. Besides, in that standoff with the Duke earlier, you didn't hesitate to put your shield in front of Siege.
True.
Where it is Siege carrying the size of kings. You seen it before, Cap?
I have. Siege was right. It's just a piece of metal that happens to mean something to some people.
Troops approaching on our flank.
I decode, but I recognize them. They're the Duke of Gododin's men. They've engaged the Sagas and covered one of our squads just now. Good. If that's Gododin's way of showing friendship, then we'll show him the same in return.
Attention exemplars. Stand with the soldiers of Gododin. Not one step backward until the last foe is vanquished.
That's fucking cool. Yeah. The ship has reached cruising speed, so we're out of danger for now. Good. The sarcasm's witchcraft is most peculiar indeed. Better to fake a moment of vulnerability than have them constantly harassing our rear. The leader of the Naxares has not been sighted, nor any other known powerful sarkas. I suppose they don't see Gododin as nearly the threat that Windermere or Wellington are. I could call that a relief. The Sizer King has not left Gibsonham, sir. Should we move on to the next phase? What do you think of them? More of a challenge than expected. Alexandrina's forces are growing, and they are more organized and effective than we thought. Oh, I don't mean as an adversary. The exemplars, like you said, they look the part. And they've worked well enough with the troops that we left behind. Rita's with them, and looks more like the legendary White Wolf than her father did. And Windermere isn't quite as weak as the intel had her. Maybe it's not such a joke after all, that those kids could become the exemplars.
Do you intend to abandon the plan for us to escort the Realm Blade then?
Abandon? Such a strong word. It is the future that Godden values. Alexandrina, the size of kings, the exemplars, even Rhodes Island. Perhaps we'll cross paths again on our way to the future.
Tanks are fighting the last pocket of Sarkaz on the east side of town. We have successfully defended Gibson. It will serve as a supply point on the way to Silverrock Bluffs. However, the terrain has changed. The environment around Landium is constantly changing because of Anonym's influence. Fissures, cliffs, and rapids that should not have been there are emerging everywhere. Silverrock Bluffs is almost certainly under severe catastrophe. It's hard to say where our foot will land when we put it forward. I would not believe this. Well, this was our Landium if I had anything less than absolute faith in Rhodes Island data. The sun on the meadow is summery warm, filling our home with euphoria. After this war, we might have to change our national anthem's lyrics.
This is the time to be having a laugh.
I want to say we'll think about it after we take it back, didn't you? Even if we really went back, would our home ever return to the way it was? That's why we're not just going to win the war. We're not going to let the Sarkaz destroy Landium in the war. We'll overcome the storm ahead. And we won't abandon the home that the storm has ravaged. Vice told me his squad picked up more distress signals nearby. There may be more lives saved yet. The areas where fighting occurred with the Noxeras will need to be cleaned up. Rhodes Island operators will provide the usual assistance. I want the exemplars to work with them on these post-combat affairs. Establish supply lines, rescue and transfer the injured, and rally those who want to join us. The troops who returned to the front line have assembled. Counting in the Godden soldiers, who had their IDs wiped, the exemplars have far exceeded the scale of a regiment. They want to join us. I met with their officers. They said the Duke of Godden left before they could board the transports. Preliminary screening indicates that all of them are infected. Sounds familiar, huh? The Duke of Godden left his infected soldiers behind, just like the other dukes. Or maybe he intentionally picked a bunch of soldiers who had unfortunately gone infected and sent them over to us. I suspect he has ulterior motives. The performance of those infected troops indicates that they're different from those we've seen before. I wouldn't call them stragglers. If Godden's intention is to keep an eye on us, then we should probably try to lose these people, or at least separate them tactically. No. You know the Duke's better than I, Delphine. There's a very good chance that you're right. But right now, there's nothing we need more than unity. If even the exemplars choose which part of Victoria they're united, what would happen to the future that we dream of? Godden very likely knew that we couldn't reject those men. That's why he let us leave so easily. Then we need to be ready. This is not the first challenge we've had to overcome, nor will it be the last. Sarkaz, Amnanam, Kasta, the Dukes. There's not just one storm that the exemplars will have to weather. Let Lieutenant Shiro know. To be honest, everyone's happy to get some new blood. Plus they're all infected. If it's really true that Godden has not abandoned them, that in itself is worth celebrating. Perhaps the unity that once seemed impossible is actually within reach. It's a miracle to run into people like you. We're not the miracle man. You are, all of you, for being strong until the very end. Thank you so much regardless. I can still move. Let me help you with the others. This way you can get some rest. You're not much older than my own children, now that I get a better look at you. We have about 10 minutes of rest before we head to the next location. Closure? A little more time. There's not much room for improvement on that arts unit you're holding. Even Radiant and Mechanist could hardly do better. Conditions only get worse from here. The better I do, the safer you guys will be. Thanks. Rescue work around Gibson is complete. Next we'll be going to where your squad's signal is lost. I see. We'll find them alive for otherwise. Even if they're buried in the sand, originium, there will be traces. We'll find them and bring them home. I know how I feel, but Fang, I want to hear your thoughts too. Is it regrettable for a Rhodes Island operator to die in a war between the Sarkaz and the Victorians, when they have nothing to do with either side of the war? Any sacrifice is regrettable. After Ace died, Beagle cried for many nights with his shield in her arms. Why him? Why there? Why them? I get that feeling too. Every single time. What I really want to know is, how did the people who sacrificed feel? I'm sure they have their own regrets. We're none of us saints. That's why we fear death. That's why you feel pain over your decision. But I have no regrets about participating in this operation. If not for Lava, Hibiscus, or other Sarkaz friends, then at least for the people here, even though I don't know any of them. It was a catastrophe that brought me from Columbia to Rhodes Island. That catastrophe taught me one thing, that suffering does not discriminate. I came here today because I know that you will come when my home needs help, when the people I care about need help. You're right. We'll be there. Rhodes Island. You know something? I've been addicted to the web since a very young age, because that's the only place I knew without segregation. The other vampire children and I, vampires and other Sarkaz, Sarkaz and everyone else, catastrophe, nations, loss, disease. It was Teresa who took me from the confines of my home and showed me another possibility. A ship that sails the waves of disaster, rescues those who are suffering, and fosters companionship beyond personal interest. Sounds surreal, huh? But the road that Rhodes Island has travelled thus far is very real. I'll continue to analyse the anomalies caused by Unknown. I also want to hear your answers to my question. Kelsey and the doctors too. This data belong to either us, to Balin, to Victor, to Rhodes Island. One day it may belong to everyone.
学校でも軍隊でもより厳しい事態は目にしてきた。
Nice, nice. Nice. Plot, story, chapter. Strange place, a strange figure.
Should we go for one more? Yeah, we go for one more, I guess. I'll go for too late today, but oh boy. Oh my. Additional pollution will appear. HP increased and some enemies will differ. I'm gonna grab. Let's grab Weedy.
出発前にみんなで溶岩ケーキを食べませんか？お母さんがやってた験担ぎなんです。
ドクターの部隊補佐として訓練に参加します。
So we're gonna go use Weedy to push the device or whatever it is to the blue box, and then we're gonna use Gladia to pull it away. That's what we're gonna do. Then we'll hold base with Spectre, I guess, and everything should be fine and dandy from there, I think. Abandoned mansion, Lindinium outskirts. I know the red tiles affect units with offensive recovery like thorns. I wasn't paying much attention, but it seemed like skill activation felt the same. I don't think it does. Because it just said it affected skill recovery. Offensive recovery doesn't depend on, you know, time. So I think offensive recovery is actually like a good way to counter it. The only thing is, it does drain your HP as well, so. She back? Not yet. Damn, it's hard enough dodging those devils. How did she survive and even find us? How the heck she know I did business with the devils? Well, consider that business deal lost. What about you? How'd she get you? She held a crossbow to my head. I knew her from before. She didn't used to be so. Didn't used to be so what? Who dat? Go on. No, I didn't. A soldier who has served the dukes all his life lies on the ground, a crossbow pointed at his forehead. The voice of the one holding the crossbow is cold as ice. Not waiting. I'm just sorry, Milska. I shouldn't have. The bolt pierces his ear. Yikes. Some people punch holes in their pets' ears as a sign of ownership. A man is not a pet, of course, but sometimes they're not so different, are they? Now get back up and give me a status report. Have you done what I asked of you? Yes, ma'am! Well, the reception at the monitoring station was really bad, so even though we tried to gather as much information as possible, skip to the conclusion. Based on what little information the Trilby Asher left behind, and the occasional intercepted comms, we can confirm that a unit called the Exemplars has been formed, and its leader is most likely the one you spoke of. Vina. They seem to be headed for the front at Silver Rock Bluffs. Silver Rock Bluffs. They're really staying in this war. Keep at it. Notify me of any new developments. Yes, ma'am. Well, this is easier than expected. I thought it'd be tougher. No scruples, no axe to put up. Found Victoria. A red light flashes a few times in the deep shadows. It's the Steam Night! Isn't it your job to protect her? "43 hours into the operation. I knew you would come. Ursula. That mad bomber W came once to set up this prison. Enos came twice to show compassion. Same old Enos, always a tad slow with her retort when she's focused on someone else's shadow. Now it's you. What have you come to say? Have you thought it over? That's my line. Your situation is perilous. Your only vehicle lies disabled. As the pilot, I'm very likely to know something that you don't, and probably am waiting for the right time to strike. Really, you should kill me, Pedro. I would rather you helped us with what you know. In your dreams. I've already turned you down once. You gave me too little credit if you think I would change my mind just because I'm a prisoner. 3 times. What? You saved our lives 3 times, back in Castle. My life once, Enos' life twice. You wrote all that in your diary. Name your price. I'll do my best to pay it. You go bankrupt if you quit the mercenary life to open a business. I just want as many Sarkas to make it back to Castle alive as possible. Such grand ambitions. But enough chit-chat. Let the old rules of Scar Market lie buried beneath the castle. Our debt is settled. One last warning, Hodora. Kill me now, or you'll regret it. Did it ever occur to you that we both want the same thing? Enough of your righteous crap. Don't try to buy my life with your flowery words, old friend. They're not much better than money. A mercenary takes no sides, but you and I aren't really mercenaries anymore. Wanna bet, Enos?
Brother's gonna try talking Ursula into helping him for old time's sake at Scar Market. Ursula's gonna tell him just to get it over with, and Herder's gonna come back with a long face. What's the wager? That's it? I figured you'd be jealous of the two of them all alone in one room together. W. I'm trying to read my shadowiness. I'm not in the mood. The money and the Victorian have been gone for a while. Wonder how things are going out there. Nancy's still playing dead, and Teresa's catastrophe refuses to go away. Who knows? Maybe Manfred's just gonna pop out of nowhere. The blame Teresa's up right there and there. I know you're restless because of Teresa. Hold that fuse for a minute. We have a lot of prep work to do. Who said I was... Got a problem, W. And with it. It's time for a shift change, but not all our scouts came back. Crane's team went off to the north side of the canyon. We can't reach them. Don't tell me they ran into a decent enemy cluster. When was your last communication? Almost 3 hours ago. If our enemy could make an entire Merc squad disappear without a sound, they would have been on top of us by now. The most important thing to do at the moment is to keep the Lifeburn safe. We're just gonna sit here when we know something's going on outside? I agree with Inez. We know nothing about this place. The safest course of action is to concentrate our forces. Cut the crap. My men are missing. I want to know why. If they got lost, I'll bring them back. If somebody did them in, I'll return the favor. Calm down. This could be a trap to split us up. I don't like playing defense. Even if it's a trap, I'll just blast them out of hiding. Give me half a day. If I don't come back, that means I'm up against a real nasty piece of work. Don't come after me, and get your defenses ready. If you get a call from Anya, don't wait for me. Just activate the Lifeburn. I'll take my own squad. No need to bother anyone else. You lot, grab your weapons and follow me. Is this where they went? Should be. This cave was all we saw when we went north into the canyon. We don't know what's inside. Hidden passage? The court's secret cache? If this was a secret base at the Royal Court, we'd have had a couple hundred vampires and Naxxaros on our asses the moment we fell in here. Based on Cloche's intel, we're in the hills to the west of Londinium, good distance from the main battlefield where those old farts are. Somehow there I smell the old moldy stench of someone who's been here for ages. I don't like old stuff, but I'm sure Herder would love it. Let me guess. What enemy did our lucky winners run into?
W, when did you use your bombs?
You delusional? Do you see me use them on the way here?
Then what are those burn marks on the wall?
Huh? Strange. No signs of arts. How do you leave marks like these on stone then?
Did you hear that?
What is it this time? It's the sound of someone striking iron.
There's somebody here!
You're just hearing things. Stop spooking yourself. Nobody's here.
Do we keep going, W? I have a bad feeling about this.
Of course. Why do you think we're here? It's top grade gear you all are using. I'm not rich enough to just let them rot in some cave.
You heard the Sarkaz legend? Well, Quilla was even born. The Sarkaz and a real dragon.
Shut up. One historian Herder is enough. Say any more and I'll throw you out to the front.
What is it?
Blood, but not Sarkaz. It's fresh. Get ready to fight!
The fuck is that? Oh, straight into the fight. Okay.
Oh,
there it is.
溶岩と安全な距離を保って体調の報告は怠らないようにしてください。
聞いてるけど足元を見てみなさい。どうすればいいかくらいわかるわ。私に命令しないで。
Kinda wish I brought Yato here.
これで静かになってくれる。さっさと片付ければ楽に終わる。
It's not good.
かの深き海より参りました。本気で行くよ。
Is not good.
獲物はどれですね。
火山の煙や粉塵には大量のオリジニウム粒子が含まれるので、長居は避けましょう。任せて。発射。
What the fuck is that?
気をつけなさい。この海流は脆弱な命を
I should just say fuck the tornado. Fuck pulling the tornado. That's not gonna happen.
わあ、本気で行くよ。
Matt, can you fuck off, please?
私に出会ったのは運
You
だと
please fuck off right now.
足元を見てください。
先輩、どうか怪人は生命を受けに進路を動かせ。汚れをすすぐもの。
気をつけなさい。この海流は脆弱な命を飲み込みますね。
ご指示を。本気で行くよ。みんなあっち行って。
The fuck there's another one. Hi.
ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。さっさと片付ければ楽に終わる。聞いてるか。どうすればいい今日作戦は。ここから発射。ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。
Well, I mean that's fine, but still. Okay. Much easier to just leave the tornado there rather than try to push it around. No time. They move too fast. Our weapons don't work. This thing just won't die.
Aim for its head. We'll see how many hits it could take.
It's too fast. We can't hit it. Draw its attention. I'll try to hit it from behind. So I guess it was this thing that killed the mercs, eh? The mercenary attempts to go around the monster, but one swing of its tail sends him slamming into a rock wall. None of the attacks seem to have caused any real damage. It flaps its wings and scorching winds engulf the cave, making the air even thinner. The ground quakes, and spikes erupt from under the earth, hurtling towards everyone.
Shut up.
Shut it, short-legged moth. It's a moth? I mean, I see it with wings. The monster immediately locks onto where the damage came from, surprisingly agile for its size. In the brief time it takes W to reload, the monster has already closed the distance, its fangs nearly grazing her face.
I don't know how you got that ugly mug. But you'll need a bigger one to eat me. Chew on this instead, sucker.
Is it dead?
Hard to live with a big hole in its face, eh?
Are you okay?
I've always been good at blast control.
I've got a theory, W. Might just be a lost Sarkaz called Bomb Fiend or something, and you're its last princess.
Haha, very funny.
The hell is this? Doesn't look like any animal I've ever seen. I heard that some of these Colombian crazies sew parts of different animals together. Maybe this is their doing.
Unfortunately, I know a bunch of sarcastic crazies who do the same thing.
Reeks of witchcraft. Adversarious monsters.
Why out here in the middle of nowhere? Them being here is no coincidence. Must be somewhere else, something else in the cave.
This thing ate out, guys.
The only way to find out is to cut it open. We're sure it's dead, right?
Cut it open. Make sure. Oh boy, there's more of them.
Damn, this thing had friends?
They blocked the entrance. What do we do?
Run!
Yikes. 48 hours into the operation.
What time is it?
Would it mean anything to you?
Call it a professional habit. I feel better when I know what time it is.
6 p.m. 2 days since we crashed into the canyon.
2 days.
Enough to do a lot of things. So fun. Not so fun fact, I guess. It is actually an interrogation method to deprive people of their sense of reality by not telling them what the time is. And that's why the interrogation rooms are usually really dark. Yeah.
"2 days, enough to do a lot of things. Do you remember Hodor? 3 of us were on a mission to steal us Arknights Pasha's treasure. We got the treasure, also 100 or so people on our tails. We hid in a cave for 2 whole days. We were starving, but we were too afraid to light our fire or leave.
It was Enos who stitched your wounds up. You wouldn't have made it otherwise.
I said the sun's almost up. Just let me bathe in the sun for a little bit. I'll feel much better.
What's stopped you? There were enemies outside. We couldn't risk exposing ourselves.
No, you didn't stop me. Enos teased me. She found it hilarious that a Scar Market merc would miss the sun.
Sure, the Scar Market is under Kazdor and never sees the sun. What time did he say it was? 6 p.m. Okay.
I became the pilot of the skeleton when I joined the military commission staff as a major. When I took the young ones back and forth between Kazdor and Lundium, it was like we had outrun the sun. I can't go back. None of the Sarkas can.
Slow. What's going on?
They're here.
Skeleton's moving.
For a moment, the Ferryman's skeleton seems to be moving, but Hodor soon realizes it was not the nerve clusters or bones that are moving.
Nails.
The ship and pilot have always been one.
Lifebone is never merely composed of the Ferryman's skeletons. Rows of long nails are affixed to the massive frame, assembling it to a transport ship. Into a transport ship, okay. One of them, infused with her arts, pierces through the critical section of the spinal column. She and the skeleton have always been linked by witchcraft.
The arts of the royal court casters have connected to the skeleton. I can sense it. No need to be anxious. It's not going to wake up yet. But this little bit of connection, and what remains of the Ferryman's powers in this nail, are enough for me to get out of here. This nail belongs to me. It's linked to my brains. I'm taking it with me. What happens when a Ferryman's powers are applied directly to the human body? It's not so bad to cut loose once in a while, just like the old days.
Spine is cracking.
I told you, Hodor. You'll regret not killing me. Would you say that this is just another inevitable chapter of history?
Hodor thrusts his giant sword into the space of the missing nail, barely in time to hold the critical section in place. Hey, First Dylan. What's up, man? Just reading story. Well, I'm almost gonna wrap up for today, though. I think I'm gonna finish this part and quote for today. I got an early morning tomorrow. But even this fleeting moment is enough for his prisoner to escape her chains. Ursula leaps through the crack in the ribs, disappearing into the fire along with burn and damaged nerve tissue.
Ursula, the hero drifting among the shards of history, who is trying to save others. Have I ever told you that the name suits you better? How many of them are there? It's a dead end ahead. I wasn't planning to escape from the front. I just need some space for my bombs. Get down.
They did?
Let's hope the rocks I brought down were enough to crush their skulls.
What are they doing here? They're protecting something?
How am I supposed to know? You seriously believe I can talk to monsters?
So, I guess we really did find something incredible. It's too bad Crane's team got eaten by those things. Not all of us.
You're alive! What the hell happened?
We found a cave on patrol and decided to check it for any potential secret passages. That's when we ran into those monsters. Tara, Buckler, and Nut got eaten. The rest of us ran for our lives. For some reason the monsters wouldn't come this way. We couldn't get out either, so we were stuck here till you showed up.
Bloody hell.
I'll skin those things and have Enos make clothes out of them.
What'd you find inside?
Not much. I've left markers on the way, if you want to see for yourself. Go that way, past a few masked bodies, then take the right fork.
Masked bodies?
I'm gonna put this here, but HBR stream today is going to reveal news for the new chapter. Oh, okay, nice. Probably watch it. I totally forgot about the HBR stream today, actually. Your skeletons that have been there for years must have run away from Londinium a few years ago. Strange thing is, they all cut their own horns off. Oh, are these the assassins? I don't know. Yeah, masked bodies.
Masked bodies? Severed horns?
Their heads were all wrapped up. Maybe some tribal tradition.
Either you're crazy or I am.
Old enemies? Don't worry, they're very dead.
Take me there, now!
This is the place. What's the matter, W? I've never seen you like this before.
Shut up.
Several bodies lean against the wall. W bends down and examines them meticulously. It's the Deathblade assassins. There's nothing left but bones. All death by severe injuries, no doubt, no question about that. Looks like someone tended to their bodies after death. Maybe they're friends. But it's been years, judging by their dust. There's a small altar in the corner. No sign of witchcraft, so I think it's purely for memorial purposes.
I'll use all of them. Why? Why would these assassins be here?
Any of these?
Others?
What do you mean? There's supposed to be others? W! Hey W! What is it this time? What's going on? Assassins? She said these were assassins? W, wait! We checked the surrounding areas. There's nothing else suspicious.
I recognize their outfits. These traitors should all have been dead by now. The area that means... This can't be. That's ridiculous.
W, I heard that Her Highness's Teresa's body was stolen from Babel.
Don't ask me. How am I supposed to know?
The next time Teresa appeared after the attack on Babel was in Londinium. Or close to Londinium.
Shut up. I know that.
What do we do now? Should we?
Go back and tell Eunice to be on maximum alert. She'll take care of the rest. As for me, I'm going to clean up loose ends.
This is a meaningless mercenary. I see no reason for us to fight. The war is over. Whether we live or die is inconsequential to this outcome. You don't get to talk about meaning. Her blood is still on your hands. You and your accomplices, anyone still alive. I'll find all of you. You can run and you can hide, but I'll find you and tear you apart, bone by bone. I know my sins better than anyone. I would have ended my own life, even if I hadn't run into you today. Go on, do it if it quells your worthless anger. But you're too late, mercenary. You couldn't save her. Shut the... I've made many mistakes in my life, but on this one thing there's no way I could have erred. I killed all the traitors. I remember exactly how each one died, and even the expressions on their faces as they went. Why do these scums die here? Darcy said the confessor resurrected her. Why did they need a living, breathing Teresa? Is there more to it than Teresa's plans for the leadership of the Sarkas? Teresa's confessor. Care less about whatever schemes you're plotting. You desecrated someone you should never have. Which is why I'll kill you all. It's the last thing I do. Just what the hell is this place? What's this door doing here? Out of my way! The heck is this? Strange sight indeed. The narrow passage opens to a vast shadowy cavern, untouched by sunlight. The chilling cave is strewn with dusty weapons and armor. The space is dotted with bizarre crystals. Massive patterns, reminiscent of eerie symbols, stretch ominously from the walls down to the ground. W is overcome by unsettling sensation, as though it is not she who gazes upon the vast underground structure, the other way around. Blunt sound echoes throughout the cave. W recognizes it as the sound of bones being crushed by a heavy object. What the fuck is that? Who goes there? Wow, okay. End it there then. Okay, fine. What's in the next reward anyway? Oh, it's a Keaton's for the next reward, but I got plenty of Keaton's anyway. And we unlocked the kid in front. What the fuck is this? As long as the special squads on the main battlefield. Okay, can variety challenges. Command a squad directly to determine how they handle counters and complete your mission. Select one of 3 different squads at the end. Each squad starts with different initial stats. Squad starts with their own specializations, split proficiencies. Okay. Squads will face different encounters and missions. Each encounter requires different stats to clear. Sometimes completing an encounter will successfully increase your stats, squad stats. Plan squad's growth and help them tackle encounter more smoothly. After facing a set number of encounters, your emergency event successfully handle the encounter to progress. Need more stats. So we enter the cities. Okay. Is this another IS? Losing contact with a squad, you may restart with a team. So this last squad's data. It's like another IS, isn't it? And what missions, actually? Well, I'm gonna leave that for now. Do that next time. Alright. I'm gonna call it there for that, I guess. It's a bit early. But yeah, I've got an early morning tomorrow. Nice. Thanks guys for watching. Thanks to anyone else to be here. Keep on first tail, and if you're still here, you know what? We might as well do a free roll before we go. I'll do the free roll and then we can jump off. Hey, get in the vein. Thank you very much. Free roll, free roll. Let's go, gotcha. it's a boot bag. Alright, I'll call it a day. That's okay, guys. See you guys later. Bye.
Yup.